Good evening and welcome to TC Network. I am Tingnay Tim Hoki bringing you today's news. Today's top headlines include 17 Christian Tripuri homes burned in Bangladesh. US and EU intervention south. 17 Christian Tripuri homes burned in Bangladesh. US and EU intervention south. End conflict now or suffer long-term like Bodoland, as social activists promote Boro to Manipur groups. After new governor, Manipur to get new chief secretary. News in details. The Kuki Students Organization Cedar Hills announced a positive breakthrough last night following a meeting between various stakeholders from Senapati and Kangpokpi districts held at the Naga People's Organization office in Senapati. During the meeting, an understanding was reached to ensure the lifting of all travel and movement restrictions within Senapati district, signaling a step toward improved relations between the two districts, it said. In the statement, the KSO Cedar Hills assured its students, community, and members that it is now safe to travel in and around Senapati district. On top of it, two Kangpokpi district-based Kuki bodies and Senapati district-based Naga body reached an agreement to promote mutual respect, security, and cooperation among the respective communities. The agreement between the Kangpokpi district-based Committee on Tribal Unity KOTU, Kuki Students Organization Cedar Hills, and the Senapati district-based Senapati Action Committee was signed in the wake of alleged physical assault of Naga student leaders at Gamgip High checkpost by Kuki village volunteers and the consequent restriction on movement of all members of Kuki community in Senapati district. As per the agreement, KOTU is required to submit a written apology to the Senapati District Students Association within 24 hours, and all forms of harassment and physical violence against the Naga community is to be ceased immediately with full accountability of all those responsible. The parties also agreed for immediate action against those who perpetuated any harassment or other forms of untoward incident against members of Naga community. The Kuki Students Organization Cedar Hills expressed its appreciation for the peace-building efforts undertaken by members of both districts and voiced optimism that this development would pave the way for long-term understanding and cooperation. Citing safety and security concerns, the Kuki Students Organization Cedar Hills has directed all Kukis to leave Senapati immediately. In an official statement, the KSO Cedar Hills accused the Senapati District Students Union of failing to uphold the understanding and agreed position between the Committee on Tribal Unity and the Nagas People's Organization reached on November 21, 2024. The student body also informed that the SDSA volunteers had detained Kuki individuals traveling home for Christmas and New Year celebrations at Mauget since December 23, 2024, despite requests for free passage, and the talks between KOTU and NPO had yielded no positive outcome. As a result, the KSO Cedar Hills said the directive was issued citing the safety and security of Kukis in the district. Due to safety and security concerns, the KSO Cedar Hills hereby informs the general public and all Kuki students to evacuate Senapati district immediately, hold travel to Senapati for any reason, education, marketing, medical, etc., until the unnecessary commotion caused by the SDSA is resolved amicably, and to refrain from pursuing further education in Senapati, the statement read. It added that the advisory would remain in place until an understanding was reached between the Manipur Nagas of Senapati and the Kukis of Kangpokpi districts respectively. On December 24, the 71 Battalion of the CRPF organized a civic action program in T. Loklai Pai and Escalation, where they distributed 30 blankets to the locals. The program was attended by Rampalat, the commanding officer of 71 Battalion, Papu Kumar Rajak, and Inspector Gaurav Manali, among others. The villagers, including VS Secretary S. Thanglim Sang and Village Chief Lulut, expressed their gratitude towards the CRPF for their kindness and generosity. Lulut mentioned that the blankets will be a huge help during the cold winter months, and Thanglim Sang appreciated the CRPF efforts in building a strong relationship with the local community. The program was initiated by Dr. Vipul Kumar, IPS IG Manipur and Nagaland Sector CRPF, and Vinay Anand Prakash DIG Range CRPF Churachandpur, with the goal of bridging the gap between the security forces and the local population. Rampalat, the commandant, emphasized the importance of security forces being approachable and friendly, and how this program is a step towards achieving that goal. He believes that such initiative can help build trust and foster a sense of friendship between the two. The Rights and Risk Analysis Group RRAG, a New Delhi-based think tank, has called for urgent international intervention following the burning of 17 Christian Tripuri houses in Bangladesh. The attack occurred at Notun Tongjiri, Tripura, Para Sarai Union of Lama Upazila, Bandarban district in the Chittagong Hill Tracts during the early hours of Christmas days. The incident took place when residents were attending Christmas celebrations in a neighboring village due to the lack of a church in their locality. Suspicions point to Islamic fundamentalist elements, though no perpetrators have yet been identified. Victims have been left homeless, living under the open sky, as their homes were destroyed in the fire. Despite a formal complaint being lodged, no arrests have been made so far. Local police, led by Mohammed Inamul Hek Buyan, inspector of Lama police station, reportedly shifted the blame to political disputes, reflecting ongoing tensions in the aftermath of the Awami League regime's ouster. Suhas Chakma, director of the RRAG, criticized the interim government of Bangladesh for failing to protect religious minorities. It has become common for the government to attribute attacks on minorities to their alleged allegiance with the Awami League. This perception, promoted by Chief Advisor Dr. Muhammad Yunus, has emboldened Islamic fundamentalists, Chakma said. He highlighted statements from government officials, including one from the chief advisor in September 2024, linking violence against minorities to political affiliations without investigations. Chakma further pointed out the disparity between recorded incidents and official action. From August 4 to 2024, the Bangladesh Hindu Buddhist Christian Okya Parishad documented over 2,000 incidents of violence against minorities. Yet, as per Safiqul Alam, the chief advisor's press secretary, only 88 cases were filed between August 5 and October 22. This culture of impunity has allowed violence against minorities to persist unchecked, Chakma added. The RRAG has urged the U.S. Committee on International Religious Freedom and the European Union to intervene with the Bangladesh government. They recommend enacting a special ordinance to address minority attacks, creating a special investigation unit with assistance from the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, and establishing fast-track courts to ensure swift justice. The international community must act decisively to ensure justice and protection for these vulnerable groups, Chakma concluded. Army miscreants launched attacks from the foothill of Kangpokpi district today, targeting peripheral areas including Sanasabi and Thamnakpokpi in the Imphal East district. This marks an escalation in tensions that have persisted since Christmas Eve, says a reliable source. According to local reports, the attackers fired bullets and allegedly launched bombs towards the hilltop regions such as Thamnapokpi, Santi Hongbal, Sabungkok, Hunau Sanasabi, and Sinamkom village under Imphal East district. Today's incident saw armed individuals targeting hilltops of Sanasabi, prompting a swift response from security personnel and local village volunteers. The situation escalated into an exchange of gunfire between the attackers and the responders. The renewed violence has heightened concerns over safety in the affected areas. Authorities are on high alert as efforts are underway to prevent further escalation and restore peace in the region. The position of Chief Secretary in Manipur is now vacant after Vinit Joshi, IAS, was appointed as the Secretary of Higher Education under the Union Ministry of Education. The Union Cabinet Secretariat announced his transfer through an official order on December 25, 2024. Joshi's move to the national level has led to speculation about who will take over as the next Chief Secretary in Manipur. Known for his contributions to the state, his departure marks an important change in the state's administration. This comes alongside the appointment of former Home Secretary Ajay Kumar Bala as the new governor of Manipur. Bala, a retired IAS officer from the 1984 batch, Assam Meghalaya cadre, served as India's Home Secretary for nearly 5 years until August 2024. His appointment was approved by President Draupadi Murmu and announced earlier this week. Bala replaces Lakshman Prasad Acharya, who has been serving as governor since July 2024. Former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh passed away at the age of 92 in Delhi on Thursday. Robert Vadra, husband of Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi, in an Instagram post said, "I am deeply saddened to learn of the passing of former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh ji. My deepest condolences for his family and loved ones. Thank you for your service to our nation. You will always be remembered for your economic revolution and progressive changes you brought to the country," Vadra added. Singh's demise was also reported by News 24 in a post on X. This came after Singh was admitted to AIIMS Delhi on Thursday evening as his health deteriorated. The former PM was admitted to the emergency department of the hospital, reports suggested. However, at the time of filing this report, AIIMS Delhi neither officially confirmed Singh's demise nor issued any update about his health. Meanwhile, Priyanka Gandhi was seen entering AIIMS Delhi as per visuals posted on X by news agency ANI. Singh served as India's Prime Minister during the UPA 1 and 2 government from 2004 to 2014. In the central government led by P.V. Narasimha Rao from 1991 to 1996, Manmohan Singh rose to fame as the nation's finance minister by implementing extensive reforms that revolutionized the economy. He was a member of the Rajya Sabha till the beginning of this year. The JNV coaching classes for Class 6 and Class 9, which closes for Christmas holiday, have commenced today at 3 p.m. at JN Public School, Kangui. The coaching is being organized to help students prepare for the upcoming JNV entrance exam, which is scheduled to take place on January 18 for Class 6 and February 8 for Class 9. The coaching classes are conducted by highly qualified teachers who follow the JNV exam pattern and provide students with tips and tricks to solve questions. The coaching is tailored to meet the specific needs of students and parents, and students are hereby requested to continue going to classes again as the classes had commenced. For any queries, you can dial or message 8132051179 at any time according to your convenience. The chief of an autonomous tribal council in Assam advised Manipur's Meitei and Kuki communities to end their conflict with the current year not to suffer long-term, as the areas under the Bodoland Territorial Region (BTR) have since the 1990s. Pramod Boro, the chief executive member of the Bodoland Territorial Council (BTC), also said it is difficult for any government to start the healing process if the warring groups are not ready to listen and give peace a chance. Ending the tragedy. On the Manipur crisis, a solution. The BTC governs the 8,970 square kilometer BTR encompassing 5 districts of northwestern Assam bordering Bhutan. The ethnic conflict of 1996 and the communal clashes of 2012 are still impacting lives in areas under Bodoland despite peace and development initiatives since 2020. Manipur's ethnic communities should make a new beginning in 2025 to limit the impact of their conflict to 2 generations, Boro said on Thursday. More than 500 people were killed and 10,000 displaced in clashes between the dominant Bodos, the community to which the BTC chief belongs, and the Adivasis in 1996. The clashes between the Bodos and the Bengal origin Muslims in 2012 claimed more than 100 lives and left more than 4 lakh people homeless. Boro was the president of the influential All Bodo Students Union from 2009 to 2017. The violence in the BTR, formerly BTAD, Bodoland Territorial Autonomous District, was largely due to a statehood movement and unarmed extremism as its offshoot. Boro said violence anywhere in the world affects two generations of the people involved, and the Métis and Cookies have to review their agenda and try to mend fences. The impact of violence is not one-sided. It ends up affecting two generations of your own people. Both communities should try to understand what they will achieve from this conflict, respect humanity, and let the process of healing start, he said. The BTC chief said the government at the center and in Manipur have been accused of not doing enough to building bridges. A government, however, cannot do much if the warring groups are not ready to listen, he added. Boro said small ethnic communities across the Northeast cannot afford to keep killing or targeting each other when there are major issues that need to be confronted together. Moreover, the development works posed by the ethnic conflict in Manipur need to be restarted to leave a better world for the coming generations, he said. The Manipur police arrested two active members of the Ban Kang Leipak Communist Party People's War Group from Awang Wabagay Lamkhai in Imphal West on December 26. The duo were arrested in connection with extortion activities from various brick farms, schools, oil pumps of Bangay and Hogampat areas and a health center at Sekmai. The arrested individuals have been identified as Muhammad Imtaz Khan, 45, and Irengbam Gulapi Singh, 43. Moreover, the police also recovered a substantial amount of items from their possession: 2 mobile handsets, 2 wallets containing rupees 1,100, 1 Aadhaar card, 1 PAN card, and 1 driving license, 1 two-wheeler. Meanwhile, continuing their search operations and area domination exercises, the security forces in Manipur's fringe and vulnerable areas of hill and valley districts ensured movement of 186 and 234 numbers of vehicles carrying essential items along National Highway 37 and National Highway 2 respectively. They also took strict security measures in all vulnerable locations, and security convoy was provided in sensitive stretches. A total of 108 nakas or checkpoints were installed in different districts of Manipur, both in the hill and the valley. The Ministry of Home Affairs has introduced a border pass system for Myanmar nationals residing within 10 kilometers of the Indo-Myanmar border, allowing limited entry into Manipur for specific purposes. The scheme, communicated to the Manipur government on Tuesday, replaces the previously suspended Free Movement Regime (FMR) and also applies to Manipur residents visiting Myanmar. Under the scheme, the Assam Rifles will issue border passes valid for 1 week for specific purposes such as visiting relatives, tourism, business, or medical needs. 8 pilot entry or exit points will be operational immediately, with an additional 35 points planned into phases. Travelers will be required to provide proof of identity and residence, and movement will be strictly regulated within 10 kilometers of the border. Meanwhile, the Coordinating Committee on Manipur Integrity (COCOMI) has condemned the decision, describing it as a threat to Manipur's security and communal harmony. COCOMI coordinator Somorendro Thokchom on Wednesday accused the Assam Rifles of bias and of facilitating illegal activities. He urged the withdrawal of the scheme, opposing any measures that could compromise the state's integrity. The central government has declared a 7-day national mourning in memory of former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, who passed away on Thursday night at the age of 92. During the 7-day mourning period, the national flag will be flown at half-mast across the country, and no official entertainment will take place. Indian missions and high commissions abroad have also been instructed to lower the flag to half-mast as a mark of respect. The cabinet is scheduled to convene at 11 a.m. on Friday to pay homage to the former Prime Minister, widely regarded as the architect of India's economy reforms. 7-day state mourning declares that chief ministers expressed their condolences on the passing away of former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, describing him as a revered economist and a distinguished national leader, whose passing is a significant loss for the country. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah declared a 7-day state mourning in honor of Manmohan Singh. The Karnataka government also announced a public holiday on Friday for schools, colleges and offices as a mark of respect. Similarly, the Telangana government has declared a holiday for all educational institutions and government offices on Friday and announced a 7-day mourning period across the state to pay tribute to the former Prime Minister. The Congress Party announced on Thursday that, as a tribute to the former Prime Minister, all official events, including its Foundation Day celebrations, will be suspended for the next 7 days. Furthermore, the party has called off its Jai Bapu, Jai Bhim, Jai Samvidhan rally scheduled for Friday in Belgaum, Karnataka. Congress General Secretary K.C. Venugopal said that all party activities will resume on January 3, 2025. Congress leader K.C. Venugopal said that Manmohan Singh's last rites will take place in New Delhi on Saturday, with an official announcement to follow shortly. The central government confirmed that the funeral will be conducted with full state honor. Singh's mortal remains were brought to his residence at 3 Motilal Nehru Market on Thursday. According to news agency ANI, his body will be placed for public viewing to allow people to pay their last respects. Clashes between Islamists who took over Syria and supporters of ousted President Bashar Assad's government killed 6 Islamic fighters on Wednesday and wounded others, according to a British-based war monitor. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said the fighters were killed while trying to arrest a former official in Assad's government, accused of issuing execution orders and arbitrary rulings against thousands of prisoners. The fighters were from Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS, which led the stunning offensive that toppled Assad earlier this month. Syria's transition has been surprisingly smooth, but it's only been a few weeks since Assad fled the country and his administration and forces melted away. The insurgents who ousted Assad are rooted in fundamentalist Islamist ideology, and though they have vowed to create a pluralist system, it isn't clear how or whether they plan to share power. At least 6,000 inmates escaped from a high-security prison in Mozambique's capital on Christmas Day after a rebellion. The country's police chief said a widespread post-election riots and violence are roiling the country. Police Chief Bernardino Rafael said 33 prisoners died and 15 others were injured during a confrontation with the security forces. The prisoners fled during violent protests that have seen police cars, stations and infrastructure destroyed after the country's constitutional council confirmed the ruling Frelimo party as the winner of the October 9 elections. The escape from the Maputo Central Prison, located 14 kilometers 9 miles southwest of the capital, started around midday on Wednesday after agitation by a group of subversive protesters nearby, Rafael said. Some of the prisoners at the facility snatched weapons from the guards and started freeing other detainees. A curious fact is that in that prison, we had 29 convicted terrorists who they released. We are worried as a country, as Mozambicans, as member of the Defense and Security Forces, said Rafael. They were making noise, demanding that they be able to remove the prisoners who are there serving their sentence, said Rafael, adding that the protests led to the collapse of a wall, allowing the prisoners to flee. He called on the escaped prisoners to surrender to authorities and for the population to be informed about the fugitives. Videos circulating on social media showed the moment inmates left the prison, while other recordings revealed captures made by military personnel and prison guards. Many prisoners tried to hide in homes, but some were unsuccessful and ended up being detained again. In one video, a prisoner still with handcuffs on his right wrist says he was held in the disciplinary section of the prison and was released by other inmates. Violence has engulfed Mozambique since the country's highest court confirmed ruling Frelimo party residential candidate Daniel Chapo as the winner of the disputed October 9 elections on Monday. Mozambique's Interior Minister Pascal Ronda told a news conference in Maputo late Tuesday that the violence was led by mostly youthful supporters of losing candidate Venancio Monland, who received 24% of the votes, second to Chapo, who got 65%. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is concerned at the violence and urged all political leaders and relevant parties to defuse tensions, including through meaningful dialogue and legal redress, UN Associate Spokesperson Stephanie Tremblay said Thursday. The UN chief also called for a halt to the violence and redouble efforts to seek a peaceful resolution to the ongoing crisis, she said. China has approved the construction of the world's largest hydropower dam on the lower reaches of the Yarlung-Jangbo River, the Tibetan name for the Brahmaputra near the Indian border. The $137 billion project, described as the world's biggest infrastructure undertaking, has raised concerns in downstream nations India and Bangladesh. The dam will be built in a massive gorge where the river makes a U-turn to enter Arunachal Pradesh before flowing into Bangladesh. With an expected annual electricity generation of over 300 billion kilowatts per hour, enough to meet the needs of 300 million people, it will surpass China's Three Gorges Dam, currently the largest in the world. The project, part of China's 5-year plan 2021 to 2025 and long-term project objectives through 2035, aims to harness the river's hydropower potential, which includes a 2,000-meter vertical drop over 50 kilometers. The lower reaches area features nearly 70 million kilowatts of resources that could be developed. That is more than Three Gorges Dam. Yan Jiyong, the former chairman of the Power Construction Corporation of China, stated earlier in 2020. However, there are concerns in India over the dam's potential to control water flows and release floods during hostilities. The site's location on a tectonic plate boundary also poses seismic risk. However, Chinese authorities emphasize safety measures. Through extensive geological explorations and technical advancement, a solid foundation has been laid for the science-based, secured and highly qualified development of the project, an official statement said. China's official media described the project as a green initiative contributing to carbon neutrality and climate change mitigation. It will create a clean energy base by integrating hydro, wind and solar power, while also spurring economic growth in Tibet. It is a project for national security, including water resources and domestic security, Yan said, adding that it would generate 20 billion yuan annually for the Tibet Autonomous Region. India and China have an expert-level mechanism, ELM, for trans-border river discussions. During recent talks, both sides addressed data sharing. However, the scale and strategic implications of this project continue to raise questions about regional cooperation and ecological impacts. During recent talks, both sides addressed data sharing. However, the scale and strategic implications of this project continue to raise questions about regional cooperation and ecological impacts. That is all for today's news, and have a pleasant evening ahead.